Hello everyone. Let's continue gaining knowledge. In our lesson, it's talk about the external environments and accountability of school. And I just want to remind you that take note the important details and information so that you can review anytime you want. So I just want to give you an insight about the external environments. There are some example of these include social matters such as fights, a student suicide, personal matters, and poor academic performance. But political and economic issues such as school board elections and mismanagement of school funds are also included in a possible external issues. And when we say accountability of school, they talk the process by which students, teachers, and administrators give an account or their progress. Accountability is means by which policy makers of the state and district levels and parents and taxpayers monitor the performance of its students and schools. So that is a overall insight about the external environments and accountability of school. But before we deep our lesson, I will give you an objectives on this lesson. So we can identify the stockholders as integral environmental source of the water school community. The second one is discuss the sociological consideration affecting the learning environment and the water school community in relation to the external environment and other factors. Let's talk about the external environment. Environment plays a vital in our school, in every community. Strong community creates a wider school community that provides easy access to education. In the other hand, they have institutional environments that be oriented toward legitimacy. Institution is an agreed upon set of rules that carry meaning and determine action. The second one is assumption. When you say assumption, it is schools have a greater chance for survival when the school structures mirror the norms, values, and institutionalize in society. They have two perspective in environment. The first one is the resources depending perspective. It is dependence is characterized as the extent of the need for a source and its availability. Resources dependence is when one organization has to rely on another organization for resources. In the other hand, the environment is a place to gain resources for operating the organization. And when we see organization, its dependence on the environment for resources and arrives to manipulate the environment to reduce independence. Coping strategy. They have buffering, planning and forecasting, boundary spanning, adjusting, operation, accommodating structures, and it's all about the way in which learners predict, prepare, perceive, manage, react, and alter their behavior when they stress. That is coping strategy. The environmental structure fit if the environment is stable, mechanic structure is an effective accommodation. Organic structure fit if the environment is unstable. They functional flexibility if the environment is stable and the organization structure is organic. They functional rigidity if the environment is unstable and the structure is mechanic. And it is all about the structure and the technology are aligned with the human resources system for the organization. The second one of perspective in environment is the institutional perspective. It is to elaborate rules and requirements to which individual organization must conform. It has a limited on goals, effectiveness, and efficiency. It also include conformity, diversity, and stability. Stabilizing force in education includes centralized government, professional association, and coalition, standardize operating procedures, and provide stability that is according to Merrier and Rowan since 1977. Administering institutional environments, they have two. The first is buffering strategy. They have the cobbling, managing the image. So it is talk about the organization centric messaging based strategy that focuses on protecting organization from the consequence of their actions by manipulating public's perceptions. The second one is boundary spanning strategies. They have the categorical conformity, structural conformity, and procedural conformity. So it is also involves scheduling informal interaction and written communication, meeting with other departments. Now we are in the accountability. So the accountability plans generally includes three components. First, standard to identify the subject matters, knowledge and skills to be learned, and consequence of differing levels of goals attainment. They have accountability and reform. The drive for accounting is based on the three underlying principles. One is school should be held accountable for higher standard of performance. School should be provides assistance to build their capacities for delivering improved education. School must increase the quality or quantity for their performance outcomes, especially student achievement. Because when we say accountability is an assurance that an individual or an organization will be evaluated on their performance or behavior related to something for which they are responsible. So, from the word accountability, it is also a responsibility or responsible for the matters. Environment and accountability for school, practical imperative. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, to summarize that, I will read keep organization structure flexible, nurture healthy relations with local groups and agency, engage the environments, and develop internal and external coping strategies, and organize that school are institutions, ensure that tests are aligned with standards. Be open to constructive change and beware for the dysfunctional consequence for higher states testing. And the last one, seek abstract resources such as neighborhood, affiliation, or school culture that it should be. So that is all about the external environments and accountability of school. So I hope that you have learned about our topic. But stay on your seat because the second reporter is will give you the insight or the overall look for the Philippines qualifications framework. And who is the reporter? Riza Jane Curry. Is your turn.